Good morning. Welcome to our fabulous and absolutely superb Saturday. Today is going to be superb because a lot of new stuff is coming our way and we are going to make it absolutely superb. It's also beginning of a weekend, so more power to each one of us. And let's start our morning with the Power of States programming. So for some of you who are new here, all we do is move a bit in our bodies, however you want to dance, exercise, and you create your dreams. Just think of your dreams and you create them as if they've come true. So how you're enjoying them, that's what you're doing. So without further ado, let's start the morning. Each one of us dreams, each one of us achieves because we are a believer, and then we are the dream converters because we know the beautiful art and the way to convert our dreams into reality. So it is. Let's start our morning with something to do with our body, some advice by Luke Cotino, how we can make it better. I know it's easier said than done, but a little knowledge comes our way, and all of us can understand something beautiful about ourselves and make it come true. So let's start. And today is about a favorite exercise of mine, which I've been maintaining since a very long time. And this is something which all of you have also got. I'm not saying it's the one, but when you're doing it, it's definitely amazing. You have got it as Abhipriti. It's called Divine Journal, Divine Love, Loving Myself Journal. So it's about the power of maintaining a food journal. So with you, I have not only given you a food journal, I've also given you a lifestyle journal. आप क्या एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, मेडिटेशन कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, मैनिफेस्टेशन कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, कुछ सोलफुल कर रहे हैं, what are you eating, what are you drinking, what are you breathing, how much water are you drinking, are you having infused water, are you intermittent fasting, are you managing the 5 elements, all of that is there. So if you haven't yet started, today understand the science and let's start. So today is about chapter 16, the power of maintaining a food journal. I cannot tell you how many times clients who approach me for weight loss insist that they're eating the right food at the right time and the right quantities, that they sleep for 7 to 8 hours and the exercise program is on track. When I deep dive into each one of the previous weeks, they start talking about the chocolates that they forgot to mention, or the interrupted workout they had, or the 3-4 hours of sleep on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And most of us don't remember how we did in terms of food, sleep, exercise the previous week. And that's why journaling is so important. Now, why is journaling so important? Because हम सब mindfully जो कर रहे हैं वो लिख रहे हैं. We're journaling. So we can't forget. If I ask Ruchi, तुमने कल सुबह breakfast में क्या खाया था, she'll remember. But if I ask Ruchi, तुमने last Thursday breakfast में क्या खाया था, she won't remember. And if you're checking up, especially if you're looking at having a better lifestyle or actually transforming, even if it's not about weight, you will know that, what you're putting in your body is helping you meditate more. So like when I went on a water fast for 8 days, I actually tick marked my meditation. It was very deep meditation. So now when I look back and see which dates I had done it on, what did I eat? What did I drink? Was it water, lukewarm water? And how much did I meditate? I get absolute clear picture of my life. So clients are shocked to see how much they ate, slept so little, or worked out when they write in the journal regularly. This does not mean they weren't being truthful. They were just so caught up in their day and live lives that they just forgot to keep track of their habits. About 80% of my clients who did this for 3 months said they already began to enjoy the experience at the end of the day. From the time they woke up until bedtime, when what they ate, how much they slept the previous night, and how much they exercised. Many said it was a therapeutic exercise. They found it so motivating that it left them with a feeling of accomplishment if they needed a good day of eating and exercising. I also asked many of my clients to record their feelings, emotions, and meditation pranayam at times as well. So inspired from Luke Cotino, I made this journal. Just see if it resonates with you. And believe me, अगर आप day के end में करते हैं, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes. The 5 minutes is all it takes. So start doing it. उससे एक and हम लोग रात में gratitude talk भी करते हैं, if you remember, right? उसके साथ coincide कर लेंगे तो आपका एक पन दो का आ जाएगा. You'll be able to scan the full day, write down what you've done, and able to say, okay, this is what I'm really wanting to be grateful for. So it's going to be like concentrated gratitude and a reflection of your full day. So I strongly request anybody, like for example, you can start writing that, okay, did you have, for example, if you have diabetes or you have thyroid, did I pop my medicine in the morning? Okay, how am I feeling? मैंने ये lifestyle बदला है. Am I feeling better? It's your own reflection for yourself. किसी को दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है या आपके ग्रुप्स में जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. But ग्रुप्स में अगर आप डालते हैं तो आप देखिए, you're 3 people right now in the group who are apart from the moderator and the catalyst and the booster. So one of you can take it up on you. Okay guys, I am the channel of love. So did you love yourself enough? Did you chronicle, did you journal in your manual? Did you do it? So उससे क्या होगा, अगर मेरी वो journal ऐसी पड़ी हुई है unused, मुझे लगेगा अरे भाई मनीष रोज बोल रहा है, चलो आज से शुरू करते हैं, रोज उसका आता है, तो let me see what can I do about my body, and I start sharing. So remember one thing, your sangha of 5-6 people is there because the idea is for you to grow. So please start giving concentration to that particular thing also. Also, Luke says you'll be able to tell if the changes in your body are consistent. For example, if you lose weight in weeks 1 and 2 and then it stagnates, or you gain some in week 3, you'll be able to correct what contributed to this. You can connect the dots, कि हाँ ये better हुआ, तो उसमें week wise भी है. Aapki body inches also you can do, so you can check your weight. So just see so I have designed for 1-to-1 days. So Luke says, I love food journaling and encourage all of you looking to lose weight to really give this some serious thought. It doesn't take more than 5 minutes at the end of your day to do this. Use an app or a notebook. I personally prefer a good old diary. It just helps me feel connected to my inner self when I actually write with a pen. Choose what works for you, but I can promise you this is one of the most powerful lifestyle habits. So thank you, Luke, for this beautiful message this morning. And thank you, Rahul sir, for showcasing the book. So all of us have this message. All of us have a journal. Inspired from this, for the second Sangha, I made the journal. So please use the sources that you have. Radhika, Neha, Vijayji, Disha, Shamir, Ankur, Shelly, Kamakshi, Sansupriya, Manisha. Why are your cameras off? It's 5-7 in the morning. It's okay. I'm very used to my friends in pajamas. So please be in your night suits, pajamas. How does it matter? It's nice to see your energy. That's what matters. All right. So day 17 is about abundance. It is about money. It is called the magic check. And though the check is written as CHEQUE, this is a check in your life that have you ticked this off. So on the left-hand side, next to the old-fashioned phone, on the desk, you have a check wallet from which there leaves of checks. So what are we doing about this today? Firstly, today Amrita is going to, Rahul sir, please be sure that Amrita sends the check related documents to everyone today. We have a PDF, we have a printed check. We've also made a universal bank check from 1-to-1, plus we'll also be sharing you secrets check. So whichever you want to use, please go ahead and use it. William S. Burroughs says he's a writer and a poet. He was a writer and a poet, born in 1914, crossed over 1997. He said, in the magical universe, there are no coincidences and there are no accidents. Nothing happens unless someone wills it to happen. So all of us are in this journey. And आप लोग यहाँ पर भी आए हैं, it's not a coincidence. It's yeah, you can call it a blessing if you want, but it's not accidental for sure. You had unknowingly manifested the change, the transformation in your life, so you're here. So let's be thankful for that. Now, in the terms of money, we talked about that money is important. And it's one of the most, so people who say, who philosophize and say, ki money can't buy you happiness. It sounds beautiful, amazing for people who really are potted with money, right? People who are making the ends meet, if they say this, it sounds foolish because ultimately everything in the world is bought from money. So I know it's just energy, but you need this energy to buy something. But you also need one beautiful energy that you and I made up of, which is love and light. Now, when you are in the world of love, gratitude is automatic. Right now, all of us are trying to get gratitude into our lives. Yes, we are doing that. Today is 3 weeks completion of our journey, of this beautiful transformation journey. And these 3 weeks are the most important weeks of creating our foundation, right? So in this foundation, we have learned that it's nice to have our own professions. It's nice to have our own income. It's nice to generate money. Now, some of us feel that, we don't need personal money because we are very santusht in life, but we need money to help and empower others. So more power to you. Generate money for them, however you want. But if you think of lack of money, you'll only have lack of money. So don't push money away from the window by saying, और तो जरूरत नहीं है भाई, जितना है बहुत है. अगर आपने ऐसा बोला तो जितना है उतना ही रहेगा, क्योंकि आपको शायद ग्रेटिट्यूड भी नहीं है उस मनी का. लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन बहुत क्लियरली स्पेल करता है, like attracts like. So if my frequency and my vibration is about money, that oh, I have abundance, the more I spend, the more I get, then automatically that's what universe provides me. Get that very clear. पुराने जमाने में लोग की कहावतें ही अलग थी कि सेव द मनी फॉर योर ग्रे डेज, या अपने बुढ़ापे के लिए बचा के रखो. इसका मतलब क्या कि हम बीमार पड़ने वाले हैं? वो हम सबकॉन्शियसली कंडीशनिंग कर रहे हैं अपने आप को. Why? Live life like a king, yeah. I'm not saying don't be smart, don't save money for the future, but don't use terminology like बुढ़ापे के लिए or whatever. All of us are in this journey once we've come, and then we have to realize that we are conditioning ourselves. So sir, we can turn the page. So now, कितना भी मुश्किल लगे आपको, अभी अगर आपको प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, आपके खर्चे कवर अप नहीं हो रहे, पहली बात तो स्टॉप सेइंग कि मेरे खर्चे कवर अप नहीं होते. I'm not able to save money for a holiday overseas, or I'm not able to do this, or I'm not able to buy a luxury commodity or something because I don't have money. जब हम ये बोलते हैं तो हम इसी को अट्रैक्ट करते हैं. और हम अगर ग्रैटिट्यूड देंगे कि अरे जो है बहुत अमेजिंग, आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल, मुझे ये चाहिए, but I am so grateful, and I imagine using that commodity or that money for that kind of experience. That's wonderful. Creative visualization में लाइए ना. Creative visualization मतलब जो हम power of dreams programming करते हैं, उसमें फील करिए ना अपने आप को spending that money on something that you love, whether it's materialistic, spiritualistic, emotional, doesn't matter. So don't आज से we will not be disappointed about money. We will be grateful about money. हमें बस कॉन्सेंट्रेट करना है मनी के लिए, सो दैट जितना हम स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, जितना हम खुशी फील कर रहे हैं मनी के लिए, उतना मनी हमारी लाइफ में और आ रहा है. एंड दैट्स व्हाट इज यूनिवर्सल लॉ इज ऑल अबाउट. सो यू कैन स्टिल टर्न द पेज. So again, you can again turn the page. So another one, sir. So this is the check which will come your way. So अब इस चेक में आपको टिपिकली जो चेक्स आते हैं, डेट लिखनी है, अपना टाइम लिखना है, क्या अमाउंट चाहिए वो लिखना है, और किसके लिए चाहिए वो लिखना है. जब तक आपकी इंटेंशन क्लियर नहीं होती कि मुझे पैसा किसके लिए चाहिए. एक तो बोलते हैं, मीनाक्षी बोलते हैं कि आई नीड द, मुझे 1 करोड़ रुपया चाहिए. अरे किसके लिए चाहिए? So she says मुझे 1 करोड़ चाहिए, I want to buy myself a Merc, this class, that class. Okay, fine. उसका मटेरियलिस्टिक गोल है. या आज मनीष बोलते हैं मुझे 1 करोड़ चाहिए टू बाय दिस प्रॉपर्टी, छोटी सी दुकान है या whatever he wants. तो उससे यूनिवर्स को पता है कि आपको मनी किसके लिए चाहिए. सो एंड ये चेक आप कितनी बार प्रिंट कर सकते हैं, आप ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं. आपके पास एक और बुक आई हुई अभिव्यक्ति, यू कैन ड्रॉ इन दैट ऑल्सो, कट कॉपी पेस्ट दैट. एंड बहुत मजा आता है जब आप अपनी इंटेंशन लिखते हैं किसके लिए चाहिए, और जब वो मिल जाता है तो फीलिंग इज ब्यूटिफुल. तो आप उसमें बकायदा टिक मार्क लगाइए. I'll probably share my book with you. Actually, today I'm on the way to Bangalore. I'll be leaving immediately after the session. but if I have time I'll share it with you. उसमें आप टिक मार्क्ड कि मुझे इसके लिए ऑर्डर किया था मिल गया, इसके लिए किया था मिल गया, इसके लिए किया था मिल गया. और ये नहीं कि मेरे पास नहीं था, I definitely had in the bank, फिर भी मैंने मंशा रखी and I got it. So संकल्प शक्ति is very very important. Exercise that. So just turn the page one before. नहीं सर, पहले मैंने कहा 17 के पहले इसका या सो आपको अपना मैजिकल चेक भरना है, उसमें क्या अमाउंट चाहिए वो लिखना है, किस कब रिसीव करना है, अपना नाम और उसका डेट लिखना है. अपने हाथ में चेक पकड़ के उसको ऐसे इमेजिन करना है कि आपने जो एक चीज आप चाहते थे वो आपको मिल गई है उस मनी से. एंड देन जस्ट फील द ग्रैटिट्यूड, फील योर थैंक यू, सो दैट यू आर एबल टू से थैंक्स फॉर योर चेक, यू आर एबल टू से थैंक्स फॉर योर फ्यूचर. एंड आपको एटलीस्ट आज के दिन में ही 2 बार 2 ओकेजन पे चेक को अपने हाथ में लेकर पिक्चर करना है. आज पहले 3 बार कर लीजिएगा, मॉर्निंग में लिखकर तब कर लीजिएगा, दोपहर में, शाम को, एज इफ आप चेक को होल्ड कर रहे हैं, टच कर रहे हैं, फील कर रहे हैं. एंड उसके बाद ऐसी जगह पर रखिएगा जहां उसको डेली जाते आते देख सकते हैं और उसके लिए थैंक यू बोल सकते हैं. सो मेरा जो एक मनी है, मेरे कई चेक्स रह चुके हैं. एक बहुत बड़ा चेक है, वो मैंने अपने जहां मैं बैठी हूँ साइड टेबल पे, वहीं अपने नेक्स्ट टू माय साइन में, नेक्स्ट टू माय लैम्प, वहां रखा हुआ है. तो उससे क्या एडवांटेज है कि देख देख के बार बार आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर इट. सो प्लीज बी केयरफुल एंड डेफिनेटली डू इट. सो थैंक यू राहुल सर. एंड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू हु वांट डिटेल्स, प्लीज मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है वो प्लेलिस्ट की तरह सुन लिया करिए, यू नो द ऑडियो व्हिच इज कमिंग टू यू, द यूट्यूब वन, because I give you a gist of the magic chapter. But these chapters are beautiful. If you read them in Rhonda Byrne's language, very simply, without explanation, we are very clear. So it's very important to get that. I don't think it has a place to write the reason. Yes, in the order of लिखा हुआ है ना उसमें, जो मैजिक चेक रोंडा बर्न का है उसमें लिखा हुआ है इन द ऑर्डर ऑफ. आपको आज मिलेगा मनीषा, आप देख पाएंगे. हमारे चेक में उसमें नहीं लिखा हुआ रीजन, बट रोंडा बर्न के चेक में है. सो यू कैन ऑलवेज राइट द रीजन. Once you get it, you'll be more clearer. So wonderful. So yesterday we spoke about a very beautiful philosophy where we said that great partners plus effective utilization of their, capacity is equal to your own realized potential and ultimate dreams. That's what we talked about. We also spoke about the power of having the right leads, having the right people in our life, so that we are able to take our life seriously, sincerely, and make a goal. So the next thing which is coming today is page number 149 after the bold pictures when you're reading. A friend of mine has a reasonably successful business. She has several incredibly talented partners and key employees. And yet she is paddling her race boat towards the finish line rather than using its 400 horsepower engine. Her problem is that she is so fearful of failing that she feels that she must control or be a part of every aspect and every decision in every department of her company, no matter how big or small the decision may be, and regardless of the talents and abilities of the people who run those departments. This is not only a waste of her time and energy, it discourages her partners. If she would learn how to let go and truly delegate and utilize each of their strengths, she would not only begin to enjoy her life a lot more, her company would begin to perform like never before. It would mean the difference between paddling the boat from start to finish versus igniting the 400 horsepower engine and putting the pedal to the metal. So very important, जो हम लोग में this sense of insecurity is there, no? I am better, this superiority that we have. And don't say that you don't have it. Most of us have this feeling कि मैं ये काम better कर सकता हूँ. But if you are one of those people who says कि नहीं, it's a group work, because जरूरत भी नहीं है उस इंसान को देखने की when he is doing, more power to you. I wasn't like this before. मैं अभी अपने आप को कुछ टाइम पहले बदल पाई हूँ. That now I trust my teammates completely. पहले factories में या even मेरे लेडी सर्कल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कहीं पर भी मुझे लगता था लेट मी ओवरसी एवरीथिंग, एक बार मैं देख लूं तो संतुष्टि हो जाती है. बट दैट इज नॉट राइट. मैं ये नहीं बोलती कि बाद में आप रिव्यू नहीं करिए. लेट देम डू देयर बिट without letting them know. Just have a review and compliment them, appreciate them, rather than becoming one कि अपना पूरी एनर्जी हर जगह लगानी है. Very, very, very important for us to understand. एक ballpark idea आ जाए, but yet the person runs the show, gives them also sense of confidence. And that is the exact thing which you need in your partnership skills. You need to have confidence in your partners. एक और example आता है Steven Scott का. Another friend of mine owns a huge company with thousands of employees. He is a man who's incredibly loving and has motivated his employees and management with love ever since he started his company in his home years ago. This has not only been a critical key in his company's phenomenal success, it has resulted in his employees' willingness to do almost anything to show their love and commitment to him. Unfortunately, there is one man who's in critical position in this company who uses fear to control and motivate his subordinates rather than love. Consequently, dozens of the company's most important employees have become demoralized and starting to show in their performance. जब हम बहुत किसी को लगाम पकड़ते हैं, टाइट करते हैं ना, those people feel claustrophobic. They just don't like to work because they're like, oh, this person's going to dictate me the essay, essay, essay. So please start trusting the process and start trusting them. Now, Scott says, in his first 8 jobs, I achieved almost no significant success and made no significant contribution to success of the company for which I worked. But on my 9th job, my mentor and I created a marketing campaign that doubled the company's annual sales from 30 to 60 million. On my 10th job, I was able to create campaigns that generated over 1 billion in sales and produced more than hundreds, produced more than 100, sorry, 1 second. I just lost it. On my 10th job, I was able to create campaigns and that generated over 1 billion in sales and produced more than 100 millions in profit for my 6 partners and me. Now, what was the difference between the first 8 jobs and the 9th and the 10th? In job numbers 9, I found a mentor. And was the first time in my life, my business talents were effectively utilized. Somebody showed trust in him. So he could do what he really wanted to, or he was out to do it. And the first 8 jobs, he was just an employee. In job number 10, my strengths and talents were even more effectively utilized, and my mentor and boss motivated me and my partner to a degree of love, and that I have never received in a business environment. Bob Marsh, the mentor and boss, was better at motivating and effectively utilizing the talents and abilities of others than anyone I have ever known. So I'll tell you something about this Ambani family. Now, whenever they're working with people, you have to, I mean, if you know of anybody who's worked for them closely, the kind of love and respect and confidence they have in their employees is next level. They treat them with so much of love, so much of attention, that those people work so beautifully for them. They're allowed to voice out their opinions. And that is the way we should all be the bosses or partners when we're looking at accomplishing our dreams. We should be the motivators, we should be the appreciators, we should be the collaborators where we're allowing them to do whatever they're set out to do. पहली बात तो आपने उनको trust किया है, ढूंढ ढांड के you made them absolutely, the person that you want them to be. And उसके बाद to start in the world of doubt. What are we getting out of it? So what is the absolute best way to motivate and utilize the partners you recruit? The single greatest motivating force in life is love. Whether you are the one who's giving it or the one who's receiving it. When love is present, it raises your level of performance unlike any other force or factor in life. So agar aapke offices mein you have old people who probably worked with your parents, if you're the second generation, start giving them love and respect. There's no harm in that. Rather than showing that, oh, I'm a new age man or a woman and I know it all, start showing them love and respect. And yet, when it comes to partnering, whether in one's professional or personal life, we rarely use love as a means of motivating those we are partnering. Man's natural tendency is to use manipulative tactics, or more than often not fear. If you can't do it this way, I want it done, I'll find someone who can. और ये चीज आप बच्चों के साथ भी शायद करते हैं, the fear tactics, So please watch out, where are you? You better do this or else are typical statements that reflect tactics of fear. Though fear is an incredibly powerful motivating force, it is also a highly demoralizing, destructive one. It can be used to get people to do what you want them to do now. But in the long term, they will never give you a fraction of the creativity or performance of which they are capable of. When a person is motivated by fear, They only work from their will, never from their heart. And it is only performance from the heart that rises above all expectations and makes unimaginable breakthroughs and contributions. Think about it. Think about the times a boss, a teacher, a parent threatened you. If they said or implied that you would do better, you would, if they said or implied that you better do this or else you would face the consequences, what would you do? You probably did what they demanded and nothing more. You obeyed and performed to the letter, but not in the spirit. Think back to your teenage years. If your parents said, clean up your room or else you're grounded, what did you do? You probably cleaned your room with just enough to look clean and just to avoid being crowded. But I doubt that you would respond to such a threat by thoroughly cleaning your room or your sister's room, siblings' room, doing the dishes and mowing the lawns. Now imagine you're at home and you get a call from your girlfriend. You are head over heels in love. The person is also, you can think of about, imagine she called and said, hey, sweetie, I want to surprise my mom and dad and have the house spotless, the dishes done and the lawn mowed by the time they get come home tonight. And there's no way I can get it done by myself. Could you please come over and help me? You would probably drop everything, rush to her house, and become the white tornado. You would not only get everything done, you would perform every task with love, with enthusiasm, level of excitement, excellence, and than your own parents had ever seen. And yet, as true as all of this is, most parents, husbands, wives, teachers, employers, supervisors, managers, vice presidents, and CEOs continue to use fear as the primary motivator. Their people do what they are asked to do and little more, and oftentimes they will do it poorly. American Telecast became one of America's most productive companies because Bob Marsh loved his partners' employees and treated them with tremendous honor and respect. I had seen other entrepreneurs who have used love in the same way, and the success like ours has really been miraculous. So one mantra today we're learning from Stephen Scott, अगर हमें अपने dreams में actual fuel energy propel करनी है, so we must operate out of the world of love. We must not become the bosses. We must become one of the people who are working. Just because you're born in a family or you've begun the business does not make you, keep showing that. They anyways know you're the boss. किसको बता रहे हैं आप अपनी ego को बता रहे हैं कि I'm the boss? So become a people's person, become a partner and collaborator where you're treating everyone with honor and respect. There's a very beautiful, quality in somebody I know. He's I can't even tell you how rich he is, and yet he knows the Pian Kaka's name who opens the door for him every day, or the bhaiya or didis, whoever is working in the office. I don't know how many staff he has. Just because he says कि नाम से पहचान होती है, and all I have to give is little love. कंधे पे हाथ रखना है, पूछना घर में सब ठीक है, and that's done. वो मन से प्रेम से काम करता है. Even पोछा कर रहा है तो मन से करेगा. ये even वो किनारे में जो बच जाता है मिट्टी वो साफ करेगा because उसको मुझसे प्रेम हो गया. So that's something I learned from him, and I strongly believe that that has a miraculous power. So if we really want to make our life successful, let's operate out of the world of love in anything and everything. Now, the next question is there. How can you use love to motivate people? Now, there's probably more confusion and misunderstanding about love than there is about any other subject ever discussed or written about. The first two books I wrote, I co-authored with Dr. Gary Smalley back in 79. In my opinion, Gary is America's #1 expert in the area of love, relationships, and marriage. And though I'm a far from an expert on the subject, after writing those books with Gary and producing his 18-tape video series, Hidden Keys to Loving Relationships, I am at the very least one of his greatest admirers and a well-versed student. When people think about love, they usually think of romance or the romantic feelings that go with falling or being in love. Thousands of books and millions of pages have been written about that facet of love. But this is not the facet I'm talking about now. I'm talking about what Gary calls genuine or committed love. This kind of love is based upon the decision to honor and value people, their feelings, their opinions, their time, their concerns, their commitments. In fact, Gary's original seminar was entitled Love is a Decision. Gary and I share the same belief that the first rule of love, the very foundation upon which genuine love is built, is the concept of honor. One of the best ways to illustrate what I call the first rule of love is an event that took place when we first filmed Gary's seminar back in '88. For those of you who read A Millionaire's Notebook, I apologize for repeating the story, but it is the best way I can think of to accurately illustrate what I want to say. The story is, we filmed Gary's first video in front of a live audience of about 800 men and women in Phoenix, Arizona. A few minutes into the first session, Gary walked over to a table and picked up an old beaten up violin. Its bridge was broken and dangling by the strings. Holding up the violin for all to see, Gary asked the audience how much they thought it was worth. And everyone laughed. Like everyone else in the audience, I figured 10 or 20 at the most. Gary then said, "Let me read you something that's written you just inside it." As he read the inscription, everyone in the audience gasped. He read 1723, Antonin Stavadius. As Gary passed it around to the people in the first row, they handled it gently with respect. Now, here is the most amazing thing. Before Gary read the inscription, it had people laughed at what looked like a worthless piece of shit or junk. That's how they saw it. And that's how they reacted to it. And yet, only moments later, the same audience viewed that broken violin as an object of tremendous value, like heritage property, like something which is like a legacy of a legend. So for those of you who don't know, Antonin was like the most amazing violinist ever born, and he's been hailed by the violinist culture. So unka violin agar aata hai, broken bhi hai, so it's absolutely heirloom. It's something which is legendary. So obviously it's priceless. So had anything changed? Not at all. It was still the same old broken violin. Before Gary read the inscription, I'm sure no one in the audience would have given $50 for it. But afterwards, there were probably some in the crowd who would actually have gladly, wisely did their entire bank account to own that violin. Same piece of wood, same condition, but 800 people made a decision to honor and value it. They no longer looked at it as a piece of junk. Rather, they chose to honor it as a rare treasure. So you can choose and honor anyone or anything you want, regardless of an outward appearance. When you look closely enough, you will find attributes in nearly anyone that are worthy of praise and honor. The only catch is that you have to choose to honor that person. Deciding to honor and value someone, who they are and what they do, is the foundation of genuine love. This is the kind of love I'm referring to when I talk about using love to motivate others. So very simply, all of us, we are working with children, adults, colleagues, partners, whoever, wherever. We can find something good in everyone and compliment them, congratulate them, and try to see what's good in the person. Now, the minute you start seeing good in people, whether you know it or you don't know it, आप वो qualities अपने अंदर attract कर रहे हैं. Because whether you've heard or you've not heard, the world is a mirror of your reflections. आप में कुछ कमी है तो आपको सामने वाले में कमी दिख रही है. अगर आप में गुस्सा है, सामने वाले में गुस्सा दिख रहा है. अगर आप में, if you're a blessed soul, you can see the other person who's a blessed soul. So start complimenting those people, appreciating those people who are in your life, and just see you are going to attract the same qualities, the same virtues in yourself. And I mentioned when we began this journey that if you break out love into like 4 syllables and you spell them out, it means let our virtues evolve or expand, right? So my virtues kya hai? Whatever is good in us as a virtue, let them expand. So see the good in people, compliment them, motivate them. If your child comes and say, "Hey dad, I want to do this," and you think it's absolutely outrageous idea, shitty, yet you say, "Ha, sweetheart, let's do it. I have your back. Come on, do it. It's fine." Because people want to operate out of love. My mother falls that tactic. I can tell you something. So I'm an open book, and I've said this a couple of times. When I and my husband got married, we were like chalk and cheese. So they were in the first, I don't know how many years, I kept saying, "I can't live with this man. I can't live with this man." And I would go and tell him, "Mama, I want to break up." Okay, baby, fine, we'll break up. That's fine. She'll come over. And in that 1 hour, 2 hours, she would do all brain polishing of my brain. I have your back. Don't think you can't come home. Of course, you can come home. You can do this, you can do that. And then she would operate from the world of love. देखो ये अच्छा है, ये अच्छा है. यहाँ होगे तो ये problem हो जाएगा. What did she do? Had she told me, no, you can't come. You have to settle down there. Come, this is what it is. I would have been a broken, person. But my mother ensured that she was operating in a world of love. She showed me what my husband was great about. So this is a mother-daughter story, but the same you can relate to yourself with your child, with your parent, with your colleagues. Operate from the world of love is what we've been taught from Gary Smalley and Stephen Scott. It makes a lot of sense when you start operating it. Now, very important to understand, but Michael Landon proved that love is the greatest motivator, even in Hollywood. How did the story affect? Let's understand the story. One of the reasons I had such a deep admiration for Michael Landon was the way he treated his cast and crew. Like my mentor, Bob Marsh, Mike used love to motivate all who worked for him. For 3 decades, he was one of the biggest names in Hollywood, and certainly one of the most successful television stars in the history of television. And as important as he was, yet he was their boss. He was also their mentor, their silent partner, their counselor, their true friend. He treated them as if they were valued members of his family. He valued them as individuals and he honored their contribution to his show. The result, his crews were amongst the most productive in television history. Highway to Heavens was the only 1 hour dramatic series on television where each weekly episode was actually produced for less money than the network allocated for its own production. Coming in under budget every week produced a sizable profit by the end of the year for Mike's production company. He could have justifiably taken all the money home. After all, it was his company, his show. He only starred in it. He not only starred in it, he created the stories and often wrote the scripts and directed the episodes. But taking all the money for himself wasn't Mike's style. Instead, right before the crew wrapped the last show before the Christmas break, 2 18-wheelers rolled up on the set, filled with 26-inch Sony television sets that he had purchased for the entire crew, all 150 of them. In addition to the sets, he paid out almost all the remaining profits for the year as bonuses for his employees. Now, you know what? With a sense of love and generosity, he's bought their hearts. He's ruling over their hearts. And that little money, couple of millions or whatever, would have just added some bank balance. But this has made his heart balanced. So when you give, you get. And if you give an act of generosity, the kind of love you get is exponential. So try doing it if you haven't. I'm sure all of you are here, you're beautiful souls, you've already done that. But try a little more of it. So how hard do you think Mike's people worked for him? How motivated and committed do you think they were to him? And to all of his goals for the show. Sir, can you turn the page? I can tell you from experience, people who worked with Michael Landon gladly gave 110%. So now when people are gladly giving 110%, I genuinely request all the participants on the Sri Sangha to give their 1-to-1%. Boss, let's do it. 1-to-1 day journey is all we have, 21 days today clicked off, 100 days to go. Let's give our 1-to-1% and see the transformation in ourselves. Just don't take it halke mein, yaar. Session miss ho jata hai, see it offline. Ask Rahul sir for the recording if you are only on the live session, not on live and virtual. Live and virtual mein hai to sab kuch milega hi any which ways. And try to come in the mornings because morning energy is morning energy. I don't know how many of us can validate that because it's really, really beautiful. So I am just operating again out of love and I'm just requesting you rest aapki marzi, what you want to do. So for me, even if 3 people come, I will continue it, right? And if all of you, 60 people are here, 65 people are here, I will continue. I haven't put many of you in the groups because you're not ready for the journey yet. But some of them, I've even requested a few friends of mine to help me in motivating you to come on this journey because we believe in love, because we are love, we are light. So we are trying our level best to get you in this journey. How you want to take it completely depends upon you. But all I say is कि आपने पूरी life live कर ली. However, if you've come here for whatever reasons, give yourself to transform. Give yourself that love and light to fall in love with your life and see the light in the world. because the world is a beautiful place, whether you realize or whether you don't. It is absolutely gorgeous. Problem is हम mistrust करते हैं. Problem ये है कि that's the way we've been brought up. But if we've been brought up out of love and light, life is going to be beautiful. So let's bring ourselves up. We are the ones who are going to nurture ourselves. Nobody else will come and do it. These beautiful authors are coming and giving us some guidelines. Ultimately, in guidelines को अपनी life में उतारना हमारा purpose है. So we have created a curriculum for you that everyday affirmations you write, blessings every day you write reflections, every day you journal. But कितना करना आपके ऊपर depend करता है. So yes, Meenakshi, I know you're traveling and आपको, you have to wake up, and that's something I saw in many of my other course seekers pehle also. So yeah, I know your journey is going to be beautiful. So please take it. Let's read the last paragraph for the morning. Using love as a motivational force in the lives of our partners, families, and other means treating them the way we want to be treated. It means taking time to listen to their ideas. That's something we must learn. Listening to people's voices, their ideas, what they have to say, kaatne se pehle. Learning what their dreams and goals are. कैसा भी ड्रीम बच्चे का है, साइंटिस्ट बनना है, म्यूजिशियन बनना है, आर्टिस्ट बनना है, कुछ भी, listen to them and help them to convert their dream into reality. In the business place, it means sharing a significant part of your profits with those who make significant contributions. It means giving them a chance to come up to the plate and swing at the ball, giving them the freedom to strike out without criticism or recrimination. It means becoming a coach and a fan. It means deciding to do all the things even when you don't feel like it. When you learn to motivate others with love, honoring them, valuing them, you will see the levels of performance and achievement skyrocket beyond anything you would ever have seen accomplished using any other kinds of motivation. So please motivate your children. Like my older one told me 15 years ago, Mom, I want to play soccer. And back then, girls never played soccer. I mean, I never saw anyone, and there was only a boys' group. And I said, okay, let's do it. I went with her for 3 months, every alternate day for her, and she loved it. And then she dropped it. But uske man mein ye to nahi raha na. I didn't tell her, oh, girls don't play this sport. It's not going to work. No, we can't spend so much of money on this. So let's just not demotivate. Again, the punchline for today is, it means becoming a coach and a fan. So let's coach ourselves and others, if required, especially our little ones. And let's become a fan of whatever they do. Oh, you're brilliant. Oh, you're exceptional. Love is what drives the world. So let's be the lovers, truly, in the real sense. And tomorrow we'll talk about money, how in business money is important, how mentoring is important. A lot is going to keep coming our way, so we'll keep learning and absorbing every other day. So thank you, Rahul sir. And now it's time for our sun salutations, our Surya Namaskars. For those of us who can't get up from the chair and are not comfortable, so chair Surya Namaskar is for you. For those of us who can do it physically, let's do it.
The Surya Namaskar with mantras. Om Mitraye Namaha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Om Suryaye Namaha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Om Khagaye Namaha. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Hiranyagarbhaye Namaha. Om Marichaye Namaha. Om Adityay Namaha. Om Savitre Namaha. Om Arkay Namaha. Om Bhaskaray Namaha. Salutations to the universal friend. Salutations to the resplendent sun. Salutations to the energy that induces activity within us. Salutations to the one who illumines. Salutations to the sun moving across the sky. Salutations to the giver of strength. Salutations to the golden cosmic self. Salutations to the Lord of the dawn. Salutations to the son of Aditi, the cosmic mother. Salutations to the benevolent mother. Salutations to the energy that we praise, and to the one who guides us to salvation. The sun salutation now with the names of the postures, both in Sanskrit and English. Pranamasana, Hastuttanasana, Padahastasana, left leg back, Ashvasanchalanasana, Parvatasana, and hold this position. And now slowly progressing into the deeper version of Parvatasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Ashtang Namaskar. Bhujangasana. Parvatasana. Left forward, Ashvasanchalanasana. Padahastasana. Hastuttanasana. Pranamasana. On the right side, prayer position, raised arms pose, hand to feet pose, right leg back, equestrian pose, mountain pose, hold mountain pose, and slowly moving into the deeper version of mountain, the downward facing dog. Salute with 8 limbs. Cobra. Press back to mountain. Right forward, equestrian pose. Hand to feet pose. Raised arms position. Prayer pose. One round of the sun salutation with awareness on the breathing. So exhaling our hands to the chest, pranam. Inhaling as we bend back. We exhale as we fold forward. Left leg back, inhale as we're arching back. Exhale into the forward. Hold the breath for knees, chest, chin. Inhale as we arch back. Exhale into the forward. Left leg forward, inhale. This is a back bend. Exhale whenever we bend forward. Inhale as we bend back. Exhale, hands to the chest. And on the right, deep breathing.
So one more thing why we are doing these Surya Namaskars is also to break the fact that all of us are sitting for such a long time, 1.5 hour session. So this is in the center so that all of us have a little activity and our body is even losing calories in the next bit. So there's little, so in a lot of concepts, 25 minutes of any sitting down, you need to do 5 minutes of something. So also we're doing it for that. All right. So today is about a beautiful journey yet again in this world of unbelievably believable, incredibly believable. So how would the transportation system be? How is it and how will it be? So let's talk about how life has been through the eyes of Sunny Platin. So 30 years ago, air travel was a rather pleasant experience. The airline treated you well, they welcomed you like a guest, and they even competed with each other to see who could provide the best service. Today, every time you try to board a plane, you're treated like a criminal who's being arrested. In the most places in the world, the trains are crowded. You need to book a way in advance. They're usually not very convenient since they do not take you close to where you're going. All trains are slow and expensive. If you drive, you know the conditions of the road, the traffic jams, the high price of gasoline, car maintenance, insurance, of course, the lack of parking. So parking, this has a flip side. In general, our transportation system is slow, expensive, inconvenient, and available or not available on demand, and polluting. Fortunately, this will change in the new world. Science fiction in the 20th century. Now, the year 1999. Place was Moscow, Russia. Boris, a college student, is riding a metro, subway, and underground train system. He goes to his classes. He's reading a science fiction novel called Visitors from Xanadu, and extraterrestrials that are visiting planet Earth, and describing how different life is where they come from. Boris finds it interesting, but he knows it's a pure fantasy. That is why they call it science fiction. That night, Boris has a dream. In his dream, he's traveling to another planet and visiting places where life is like what he read about in the science fiction novel. When he wakes up, he dismisses the dream as something that was a result of his reading that science fiction novel. Boris knows that dreams are not real. Maybe he could stop reading science fiction. 60 years later, 2059. Same place, same country, Moscow, Russia. Boris is working as a medical professional. He works with vibrational medicine, the use of sound, color, other frequencies to heal the physical body. So I hope you know that there are these sound therapies that heal. I hope you know that there are color therapies that heal. I hope you know there are flowers that heal. And there's a lot which has come in this world already. So nonetheless, Boris is leading authority in his professional field. Now, Boris has just returned from another trip through another planet where he trained in the use of some of these technologies and has brought some technologies back to Earth. He will now be working with some of those extraterrestrials, no longer referred to as ETs in the fourth dimension, to set up a training program for other medical professionals on Earth. As Boris is unpacking at home, he runs across an old copy of Visitors from Xanadu. He smiled at himself, knowing that he considered it as fiction when he read it first. Boris now knows that the science fiction of the third dimension is a science reality of the fourth dimension. So it's very beautiful how these things are already coming in. I don't know how many of you know. When I lost my brother, I was going through a very emotional trauma. And I was given this beautiful flower, liquid. You smell it. It makes you so much more calmer. I still, in fact, now it's regular with me. I always have it. So I'm going to share the picture, I think, before I leave today. These therapies have already come. Colors have come. Do you know every single day you're actually supposed to dress up in one particular color? Your body has 7 chakras and 7 rainbow colors. Similarly, every single day is actually given one single color to be worn. Walag baat hai, we don't wear it. But if actually we wear that color on that day, we are invoking the spiritual and the cosmic energy for doing everything in alignment. There's this Masi of mine who lives in Bombay, my Masi-in-law. She has 7 nightwear also in those 7 colors, day kurtas in those colors. So if she said, this is my Thursday kapra, this is my Wednesday kapra, you know, this is how she'll dress up. So for everything, she'll have 2 or 3 colors and she has clothes accordingly. So these are already therapeutic. They're already in our life. We may know them, we may not know them, but this will be the way our bodies will be healing in the new dimension. There'll be nothing called cutting up surgeries, this, that, chemotherapies, all that will be passe. We will be healing with this beautiful world. Now, of course, some of you may think it's absurd, but it isn't. Transportation in the new world. The concept of transportation will be based on mass transit that is equally available to everyone at all times. No person is considered superior to anyone. Hence, there is no need for one person to have better transportation than others. Secondly, if high quality transportation is to be provided to one person, why not provide it to all? That is the concept of unconditional love or unity for all. Based on this concept, there will be no cars. So the cars that we're taking pride in, enjoy them till they last. Cars are one of the most inefficient, costly, and environmentally degrading modes of transportation. Besides, they create an instant differentiation in people. So I don't know how many of you are familiar. This new concept has come where you can rent a car and not invest in a car. Because investing in a car, a driver is plus. And now the petrol prices are 102, 107, 101. I don't know what they've hit across. So it's become unaffordable. And how many times are you actually using it? This Ola and Ubers have all of a sudden come, the Kali Pilis have gone. The way the Kali Pili taxis have gone, similarly, the car culture will go. If you see one person driving a big Mercedes and another driving small Suzuki, what picture do you instantly form in your mind about which person is superior? Think about it. Besides, security will be a non-issue. There will be no such thing as a bodyguard. Why does anyone need a bodyguard? Because they're afraid that someone else is going to hurt them and they need protection. Being afraid implies fear. Love and fear are opposing forces. They can't coexist. Everyone in the fourth dimension works with love. Therefore, the security is not needed in the new world. Hence, no armor-plated cars needed even for the king or the president. So I don't know, again, how many of you know there are many country politicians who are leading from the helm and have no security. They work and they pick up even bins and do whatever just like a common man does. There's nothing called, oh, I'm the prime minister, oh, I'm the president, because they're also humble and they're also safe and sound. Nothing called assassination. Now, when you want to travel to a family picnic, so Bob and Rita live in a house overlooking the beach. It has white sand, nice warm waters of the ocean, gentle breezes all year round. Now, Bob and Rita have three grown up children: Anu, Thomas, and Maria. All three are grown up and live separately from their parents. At least once a year, Bob and Rita organize a family. Yes, you can record the meditation. So, Shivani, that is, anyways, you can pop up a message to Rahul directly, not at the group. At least once a year, Bob and Rita organize a family picnic so the whole family can get together. They usually have it on the beach. Bob and Rita's house is on a remote section of the beach away from the main village. About 2 blocks and a pleasant walk away is a train station. Since this is a very remote location with not much traffic, the train only stops here when there is someone wanting to get off or on that station. Anu, Thomas, and Maria all live in different distances from their parents and each have a different travel experience to get to the family picnic. So can you turn the page, please? Now look at this, how it's happening. It's already, so this book was written in 2001 and now it's 2021, 2006, now 2021. We already have it. So there's a scenic train ride along the coast. Anu and her family live just a few kilometers up the coastline. They're also close to the beach. They walk 1 block to the train station of the city where they live. To enter the train station, they do not have to buy any ticket. Ticketless journey hone wali, okay? If they are carrying their ID cards with them, the system automatically reads the cards and allows them entry. So if your cards are in the pockets also, it's fine, it'll be scanned. If they do not have their ID cards with them, they have to use a thumbprint reader. As soon as they place their thumb on the reader, the gate opens and allows them entry to the station. A similar procedure is used when they're exiting the station at the destination. If they have their ID cards with them, they just can have to walk out. If not, they only have to use a thumb reader, print readers. So I know all of you will be knowing now we have metro systems. You don't have to buy. So if you have a monthly card or something, you just put money and you just use that, right? So this is already happening. The system knows at all times where they got on, where they left. Since they're local travelers within a certain predefined distance, there is no charge for the use of the trains, as all local transportation is provided free of charge. Once at the station, Anu and family have to wait no more than 5 minutes or ever to board the train. As they board the train, there is only one class of service. As every seat is a first class seat, everyone deserves the best. Each seat is equipped with a touch screen where one can access the net or obtain local information about the area that one is passing through. One can also make reservations for the hotel, restaurant, theaters that one is going to. As it's a local train running a scenic route, it has a glass top and covering so as to provide a good view on all sides. As they board the train, Anu uses a touchscreen at her seat to indicate the station where they want to get off. This ensures the train will stop at the remote station near Bob and Rita's house. If Anu desires, she can set an alarm so that her seat screen will flash when the train is arriving at the station where she needs to get off. In case a person is not sure what station to get off at, he has to do is enter the address of the place where he is going to. The screen will display the station which they should disembark at and also tell them roughly how many minutes it will be before they arrive at that station. At the same time, the system ensures the train stops at the correct station. It takes Anu and her family about 10 minutes of a scenic train ride to get to the station near Bob and Rita's house. They walk along 2 blocks and they are at the picnic. So now, what is the intercity travel for Thomas? So we talk about Thomas now. Thomas and his family live in a city which is about 100 miles from his parents' house. As usual, they have a train station within walking distance of a couple of blocks from their house. They walk to the station, they first have to take an intercity train. The intercity train is much like the local train that Anu and her family took. but it moves much faster as opposed to a slower, leisurely pace for the local scenic route train. It takes only about 15 minutes to cover this distance of about 100 miles and brings them to the city station near Anu's house. When they have to transfer the scenic train along the road, they will take them to Bob and Rita's house. It means it takes no more than 30 minutes for Thomas and family to reach his parents' place for the picnic, which is over 160 kilometers. So look at the speed. Now, many of you may relate this to the bullet trains, and now we have such fast trains coming up, right? Even in India, Modi ji brought in one. So now what are we looking at? Saving time, no comparison, nothing, and you're just living in their life, which is maglev trains, absolutely. So much is happening. Now, what is a long distance interstate travel for Maria? Maria is single, lives in another state, almost 500 miles, 800 kilometers from parents' house. She lives in a big city center. She can easily walk to the train station near her house. She has to first take a really fast intercity train. The trains move so fast that people might get dizzy if they look out. Hence, they do not have any windows looking out. They have a top and sides which are totally closed. But internal lighting gives the effect of the sky and bright sunshine, and even clouds moving around, irrespective of what the conditions are outside. The fast intercity trains take only about 20 minutes to cover a distance of 500 miles, which is 800 kilometers. 20 minutes, 800 kilometers, and brings Maria to the city station near Anu's house. Here, she has to change to scenic coastal train that will take her to the parents' home. So Maria can reach her parents' home in no more than 35 to 40 minutes. Hence, the whole family can enjoy the picnic and nobody is tired and exhausted. And they can return home the same evening if they wanted to. So what do you understand by this new world? This new world is coming to us with so many systems, and we are kind of embracing. Yesterday, we spoke about the crystal children, the indigo children. We spoke about how the children are operating from unconditional love and not from any kind of fear, how you make them, ye nahi hoga, so how they react. And now this also beautiful world will have this kind of technology for travel, and there will be nothing called cars. So how wonderful. This is what life will be, and this is what life is going to be. So let's read a little more before we start our heart thought. So the Japanese businessman is in LA. Another example, another story. Mr. Machado is a businessman who has offices in Tokyo and Los Angeles. He lives in LA most of the time. On short notice, he has to travel to or four from Tokyo as the needs of the business dictate. Mr. Machado remembers the true old days when he had to travel. Besides the flying time, it took almost 3 hours on each side to get to and fro from this airport. Adding the time difference and based on crossing this, when it comes to crossing large bodies of water, such as seas or oceans, depending on the distance to be covered. Sir, can you turn the page? I think you've turned Aage, 146, sorry, in a few cases. Wait a minute. Based on crossing the international date line, it would take almost 2 days for him to travel from LA to Tokyo. Also, if it was a high season travel time, he would often have trouble getting a seat on the plane and might have to pay an exorbitant price to buy the first class ticket. This, we've all seen it, how much last minute you buy and tickets are skyrocketing high. Now, in the new world, he can make a same day round trip to Tokyo from LA, takes a special intercontinental train, which takes him from the heart of LA to the heart of Tokyo in just 2 hours. Every seat is a first class seat. And a seat is always available based on how many people are booked. All they have to do is add extra car to the train. He's not tired, he's not jet lagged when he gets to Tokyo. He does not have to spend time in the hotel in Tokyo. There are tremendous savings in time and money and energy. So what is the main transportation mode going to be? And in this new world, the mode of transport will be mainly magnetically levitated trains. So all of you have been seeing the Harry Potter world, I think, if you're parents of young children, everything is like, walking, it can't be seen. That why it can't be seen in the new world is because it moves like a bullet. It just comes and goes and rushes out. This will be totally silent while operating. So these magnetically levitating trains Will be working on some universal energy, and you can't even hear them when they're operating. Zero pollution created. So Mother Earth has had this shift because no more pollution. The trains would run on something called crystal power. So we are in this world, all of our children, whoever is born after 2000, are called crystal children. Now, the crystal children, when they are going to work, and another 10 years, when they'll be taking the center stage in professionals, they will be working on something called crystal power. Just like already in the other planets, other UFOs, unidentified objects that you're saying, are already using. Now, crystals have the ability to focus the life energy in the universe. So I don't know how many of you are into crystal therapy. It's very beautiful. It's amazing. It gives so much positivity. And the crystals change color also depending upon your vibration. So if I hold a crystal today and I touch it, I can see that, okay, this is my energy because the color will be like that. It's very beautiful science. And this is something which will happen in normal day for everyone. These will be totally automatic, computer controlled, with no drivers needed. No sleeper cars are needed since no journey takes more than few hours. So even the drivers and even so many industries will be out of business because so much more is going to come out for everyone. Tomorrow we'll talk about the layout of the transportation system. We'll talk about speed. We'll talk about many more things. So I don't know how many of you are relating to this, or you've seen that there's some relevance already in today's world. And this is actually not fiction, but it's truth. So for those of you who are believers, welcome to the world. For those of you who are doubting, don't worry, don't worry. It's fiction for you. Enjoy it like fiction. Enjoy it like a sci-fi fiction in the morning, early morning, you're thinking about it. So yes, it's very scientifically there. It's very proven, but it depends upon us how we believe. Why I chose this book for all of us to understand is that we can adopt in a new lifestyle if we know what the future is all about. We don't need astrologers or people to tell us. All we have to do is just go for it. So Priyanka, yesterday you could not read. Today, would you want to read? Yes, Priyanka. I like to unmute you. So let's see if you can read today. Today is again about change. Yesterday was also about change. Today is also about change. So when one door closes, another door opens. So get this very clearly that all of us are in this world, जब एक दरवाजा बंद होता है, it's for a reason. That is not the place where you have to go. Even though you want to go in that door, it's not the place for you to go. So say, I'm willing to change. Are you hesitating? Do you feel that it is not true? What is a belief that is in the way? Remember, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. So all of you and me, we are here in the mornings to change our thinking. कि हम कुछ resist कर रहे हैं, हम कुछ hesitate कर रहे हैं, हमने अपने दिमाग की बत्ती बंद कर रखी है, and so much, so much, so much. So today's affirmation is, when one door closes, another door opens. So yes, Priyanka, please read.
Yeah. Life is a series of doors, closing and opening. We walk from room to room, having different experiences. Many of us would like to close some doors on old negative patterns, old blocks, things that are no longer nourishing or useful for ourselves. Many of us are in the process of opening new doors and finding wonderful experiences. Sometimes a learning experience and sometimes a joyous experience. It is all part of life, and we need to know what we really are safe. It is only change. From the very first door that we open when we come to this planet to the very last door that we open when we leave this planet, we are always safe. It is only change. We are at peace with our own inner beings. We see ourselves as safe and secure and loved. And so it is.
How beautiful. So each one of us is safe, each one of us is secured, each one of us is loved. And if you realize that, then life is going to be even more beautiful. So let's embrace this beautiful life and let's meditate on probably change today. And let's go for it. So for everyone, Sanjay, Rahul sir, please make Shivani Gupta the co-host. She would be recording for, yes, she is a co-host. Before I say it's done, that's the power of life, right? How wonderful. So let's close our eyes. Our postures to be checked. Take a deep breath in. Feel the breath. Feel your stomach expand. Gently release it. Exhale. The stomach goes in as you're exhaling. Take in another deep breath. This time, fill your body with love, unconditional love. Exhale love, sharing with the world. The third time and the last time for this morning. Take a deep breath in, fill yourselves with light. I am able to see the world so clearly, so beautifully, my internal world of my dreams, of how I want to be. And as I exhale, I can see the outside world very clearly. My tinted glasses are out. I trust people. I'm operating from unconditional love. And I am a believer. Life is magical. Life is beautiful. Life has made me into a believer. I, the dreamer, am now a dream achiever because I believe in the power of dreams. I believe I'm here to change, find a change in my shift, in my vibration, in my frequency. Shift from thinking that everyone's out to get me, everyone's out here to make money from me, everyone's out here to probably underplay me, undermine me, to people who are there to support me, to people who are there to love me, to people who are there to encourage me. And for doing this, I first start exercising the same thing on me because I know the more I give, the more I get. For I believe the law of attraction, like attracts like. So whatever I'm liking, whatever I'm giving, whatever I'm resonating is what I'm getting. When I start trusting people, when I start operating from unconditional love, the world does that for me. I believe in magics. I believe in synchronicity. I believe in abundance. And they come so easily in my life. Life is what it was meant to be. Now I truly understand those words. It's meant to be magical. Hereby, I take a vow to shift my energy. I learn to appreciate. I learn to absolutely change my thinking. If I was programmed in a fashion of looking at things with doubt, it is gradually replacing with being programmed with trusting people. I have become a person who trusts. I have become a person who believes. I have become a person who loves life. And when I come back home from whatever day I have spent, I am happy, content, radiant, and blissful because I operate from unconditional love in whatever I do. It could be a mundane activity for some, but even grocery shopping probably becomes a therapeutic for me. Working in office probably becomes beautiful for me because when I am falling in love, everything is all about love. My life is a blessing. And I know that I have to make it even more richer because I am counting my blessings every single day. As I wake up and as I sleep, I'm operating from the world of gratitude. With this new attitude, everything in my life is positive because I am so positive in my character, in my integrity, in my commitment, in the way I behave. Everything is beautiful because I am wonderful, and so it is. Let's bow our heads in gratitude towards Mother Earth, Dharti Ma, Janani Janma Bhumi, Dear Mother Earth, today as I read this chapter on the New World, some things were incredibly believable and some things felt like fiction. But I know you're looking for a shift. I know we humans have disregarded you. We've made such a toxic environment on you. So much of plastic, so much of non-green, non-environment friendly stuff. So all we hope is this crystal culture, crystal energy comes in place very soon. We invoke the beautiful energy and we look forward to living in a world where you are blossoming, where each one of us is blossoming and working to the next level. Let there be love, let there be light. And dear Mother Earth, thank you, thank you, thank you for nourishing each one of us with your love and light. Now let's look at the eye level, eyes still closed. Let's thank this wonderful light that we've lived. We may have had so much of experiences that we never called for them. But whether we realize or whether we don't, our higher self wanted us to go through those experiences. So whether subconsciously or consciously, we have attracted each one of them. And let's see, it's time for us to reflect on what we have learned. We can probably go in retrospect on what we have learned from something which was not required at all. And then we find the hidden jewels. Oh, in this phase, this is what I learned. This door opened for me when that door closed for me. And all of a sudden, the magical life unfolds. Now, in the reflective phase in life, reflective of gratitude. Now I express my joy, my thank you for whatever I've gone through. And what I get out of my past is hidden jewels. The patterns that are repeating again and again is because I'm not learning a lesson. So I have now become a believer. Thank you, dear life, for all the experiences. Thank you, present moment, in the power of now. I am nourishing myself, nurturing myself with love, with light. I'm planting some seeds which are later in the future going to manifest as absolute brilliant pieces of love. More power to my now, because I think it's absolutely profound and beautiful. Jemai, I thank you for being who you are. I planned it and I trusted the process of nature, Mother Earth, and life. And you are absolutely incredibly believable. I love you. Thank you, life, for unfolding the way you did. Now let's open our hands to the universe above, tilt our hands a bit. Dear universe, thank you for having our back. Dear life, thank you for showing me that you're beautiful. Dear cosmos, thank you for including me in your Leela. Dear divinities, thank you for showering us all with the choicest of blessings. Dear angels, thank you for showing us you exist and for guiding us, mentoring us. Dear guardians, thank you for ensuring each one of us is safe, sound, protected, and growing. Thank you, universe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's expand the angel heart. Hands on the left and right of your heart, facing heavenwards. I am love. I am light. I am open and receptive to all things magical, to unconditional love, to all possible abundances from all possible universes. I'm nurturing myself every day. I am open. I am receptive. I grow. I am blessed. I am abundant. Wherever I turn, prosperity follows. And so it is. Let's fold our hands. Be grateful for whatever, wherever, however, from heavens to earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's rub our hands together. Feel the heat, the vibration. Bless our face, our ears, arms, neck, foot pipe, shoulders, back of your body from top to bottom, front of your body from bottom to top. Let's fold our hands once again and be grateful for our wonderful body, for its magical beginnings, for detoxing, for unfolding, for showing us, and for making us hear what we had to hear. So, dear body, I may not have listened to you much, but I'm learning to tune in to be a listener. And I'm looking forward for my journey with you. So thank you for your guidance and thank you for supporting my soulful journey. I, the soul, bow down to you, dear body, dear conscious mind, I bow to you. Dear energy that flows in me, I invoke you to bless my loved Sangha, their families, their loved ones, and all being Mother Earth. Let there be love, light, and blessings, Manish, Ruchi, Pratima ji, Aluna, Usha ji, Pina ji, Asmeet, Neha, Akshay, Minakshi, Shivani, Jigisha, Prakash, Shami, Ankur, Priyanka, Vijay, Jitendra ji, Manisha, Surendra ji, Supriya ji, Niriksha, Richa, Born 121 for Life, Rahul sir, Kunjan ji, Ankur Rawat, Radhika Budhya, Neha Khere, and to everyone who's online in the virtual session. Lots of love and light to each one of you. So does anyone have any sharings, anything that you want to share or ask? So today you've completed your 3 weeks journey. By now, I hope each one of you is in a group, in a Sapsangha, namely G1 to G10. So if you're not, please reach out to Rahul sir, Amrita, or to me and let us know. And you can actually reach out to your own catalysts and boosters. We send an Excel sheet on the group, on the main 3 Sangha. The virtual ones, if you're not on the 3 Sangha till now, please come join the link which has been given to you in your virtual session. Be with us and understand. So thank you for that. And we are now going to grow with a lot of love, with a lot of light. So thank you. Lots of love. Thank you.